Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Crimson Vow draft here on the channel. My name is Nikolai, and in this video, I will be taking you pick by pick and play by play through a Crimson Vow draft, talking through all of my decisions so you know what to do in your own drafts. If you do enjoy it, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more draft content, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. If you want to get a rundown of the format and some format basics like top commons and color rankings and archetype overviews, you can check out my draft guide on my channel already posted. So, diving into this draft, we have a very powerful rare. There are a lot of good rares in Crimson Vow, so one strategy you can use is trying to stick to one color in pack 1 so that you can maximize your odds of being able to play any good rares you open in pack 2. But Welcoming Vampire is an absolutely stellar rare. 3 mana 2/3 flyer is already great, and then it also starts churning through your deck by drawing you extra cards every time you play a medium, like usually a smallish creature, but even some 3-drops have 2 power or less, so pretty much just draws you a bunch of cards, and it's a good flyer, so I like Welcoming Vampire. If it wasn't in the pack, I would be taking the Rending Flame, 3 mana for 5 damage, and sometimes even 2 damage to their controller is just a good deal in terms of the like damage to mana ratio that you get there. After that, it's a little bit closer. I have been impressed when my opponents play the Hookhand Mariner. I want to try that out. Sporeback Wolf is a good 2-drop, but I'm going to just jam the Welcoming Vampire. And following up the Welcoming Vampire, the first thing I'm going to look for is if there are any good white cards in the pack to follow it up with. And I think the best white card in this pack is Traveling Minister. The Estwald Shield Basher is just a little bit more expensive. It dies to all of the 1-mana removal spells, and also I just find it a little bit clunky-ish, though certainly a card you can play. But I think Traveling Minister is a little bit better. So if I was taking a white card, I would take this. But first, let's look at the rest of the pack. There is Blood Tithe Harvester, which is a strong card, but it is a gold card. And I would have to be only one specific color combination to make it work. And that color combination does not involve my strong rare. Runebound Wolf can also be good, but it is also kind of narrow. You need to have a decent number of wolves and werewolves. And so I don't think it's like worth taking this early when I already have such a powerful rare, especially because red-white doesn't really play well with this theme, though even just dealing 1 or 2 damage is still fine. I don't think this uncommon is particularly good, and then like these cards are fine, but I think I'd rather take the Traveling Minister. If I do end up in black-white, this Courier Bat will be quite good with the Traveling Minister. But let's just stick to one color for now and see what we shall see. Okay, now we actually see a pretty powerful uncommon in the form of Thirst for Discovery. This card is a decent amount better than all of the commons in this pack. Wolf Strike is solid. Weaver Blossoms is solid. We already have one Traveling Minister. It's a pretty solid card. Sorry about that. But I think Thirst for Discovery is just quite good. It helps me churn through my deck to find my bomb rare. And getting one pick 3 could be an indication that blue is open. So I think I want to take the rawly powerful card. My deck is going to be fine if it misses out on a Traveling Minister, and white might not even be open. So like I could totally abandon these first 2 cards, but if I am going to be shifting around, bobbing and weaving through lanes, Thirst for Discovery could be a good card for that. After that, I would probably take the Traveling Minister. I'm not a huge fan of Skulking Killer, just because it is kind of niche on when it's going to actually do stuff. Weaver is also a solid option, I think, but I'd rather stick to my color of my rare if I wasn't taking such a powerful card. Oh, interesting. So now we have a decision point here. I think Biolume Egg is absolutely stellar. Even if you pair it with just a blue exploit card like Stitched Assistant, Biolume Egg just like wins you the game on its own when it flips, pretty much, because you just get so much stats and like a free exploit and everything. It does mean like a little bit of a different direction, but even if I'm playing a blue-white Flyers deck and only have a few exploit cards, I could still use the egg as like a hold the ground while I win in the air. Then there's also Drogskull Infantry, which goes well with my 2 white cards, but kind of forces me out of my, like, not taking the Biolume Egg, which looks really powerful. The rare is nothing too fancy. I think I'm going to take the Biolume Egg. I think it's the upside is just very high, and it's just can potentially swing a game completely in my favor. So I'm going to take that over the Drogskull Infantry, but it looks like blue and white might be open. Okay, in this pack, there's a lot of powerful cards once again. Not necessarily all coming up in my favor, because there's not really a powerful blue card. Cradle of Safety is fine. It also works well with the Vampire to like protect it, but it's not like an insanely powerful card. Kindly Ancestor can do good work as a card that just helps me like stabilize my life total. Works well with like flyers and things like that. Any life gain synergies. Alluring Suitor can also do good work if I am aggressive enough. And then Bloodcray Socialite hits like a truck. I think it's between the Kindly Ancestor, Bloodcray Socialite. I don't really want to spec into another color, though. I already have quite a bit of power, and I would rather be, like, a little bit deeper into my main colors for specking, but Bloodcray Socialite's pretty good. Alluring Suitor can be pretty good as well. So there's a Skywarp Scob. It's kind of nice because it's a 2-powered creature to play with the Welcoming Vampire. There's also a Vampire Slayer, which I think is probably worse than the Scob. And then Sawblade Slinger is the best card, I think. If you ever get to fight a zombie, like a 2/2 zombie, you're in really good shape with this. Seeing a little bit of red cards. Getting a 2-drop could be nice. We don't have any right now. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Scob so I can use my graveyard as a resource. I already have the Kindly Ancestor to use the graveyard. I think it's better than the Vampire Slayer. I'm hoping to get better 2-drops, I think. Even though Vampire Slayer is fine. Wow. That's kind of wild. We see Lantern Bearer coming around quite late. And then there's also a Thirst for Discovery as well. I think I'm going to just take the Thirst. I do think Lantern Bearer is a good card. But I think Thirst is just better. In terms of like the impact it has on your game. For Thirst 3 mana. You get to go filter through your deck a lot with this sort of card. Evolving Wild is also a reasonable card, but I would take the Lantern Bearer over it. We are seeing some green cards. It's not really looking that white is super open. Now I'll take Syncopate. Syncopate actually plays quite well with my 2 Thirsts. Gives me something to do at instant speed. Similarly, Cradle of Safety does a similar thing, but this can counter anything, so it's more flexible, and so I like that. And we wield the Hookhand Mariner. There's also a Sporeback Wolf. That's a pretty reasonable 2-drop. I also have Instants to help flip this. Mulch could be a good card if I am trying to fill up my graveyard in a blue-green deck. Don't really love this Survey. Selhuff and Tumor doesn't really work perfectly. It does do fine with like cards that care about me having cards in my graveyard like this thing, but Mulch does that role as well. Wow, Traveling Minister wield. I guess we'll keep our options open. I think it's better than the Sheltering Boughs. Another Mulch, better than the Escort. So we kind of have 2 directions. We're mostly going to be a probably blue deck here because we have these 2 Thirsts, but we could also be like something else. Ooh, Moldgraph Millipede plays really well with these Mulches. Piercing Light maybe it's a fine card, but Moldgraph does have some non-bow with the Scab. Oh my gosh, getting a second Millipede really makes me happy about this Mulches I've been getting. Okay, so in this pack, there is Resistance Squad, which is good if you're like green-white humans, but we're not really in that direction. We have a couple of humans. But it wasn't looking like white was super open. We got like the Kindly Ancestor, but we opened this card. Whereas we were seeing a lot of blue and green, specifically green coming around late. The best green card in this pack is either Wolfstrike or Weaver of Blossoms. I haven't gotten to play with Wolfstrike or Weaver of Blossoms yet. I do want to try Weaver because it seems really good to me. And more creatures to go with my Moldgraph Millipede is nice. So I think I'm going to take that over like the blue card. I would like Stitch Assistant to go with my Biolemeg so I can try to assemble that combo. But I think I'm going to take the Weaver of Blossoms here. Okay, now there is a Flourish. Well, I did not mean to double-click that quite so fast. I guess I'll have to be more careful in the future. My mouse is a little bit buggy sometimes. I think I need to get a new one. Just kind of an old mouse. And hopefully Flourishing Hunter was the pick out of that pack. I'm just going to forget that pack happened because I didn't really get to read all the cards. So Moldgraph Millipede is going to wheel. So if we're trying to build this graveyard deck, we can maybe just get rid of the Skywarp Scab because we don't really care about it. Mischievous Catgeist could be good, but it's not really as good in this deck. Maybe I just take the Hookhand Mariner. It's just a really solid card. There's also Apprentice Sharpshooter as a nice defensive option against flyers, but I'd rather just take a beefy creature, I think. And now I'll take a Sporeback Wolf, just get a 2-drop. There is Bleed Dry as a premium removal spell. We're not seeing a ton of blue this direction. Wow, just so much discovery to be made. There's a rending flame. I'm just going to keep taking these thirsts for discoveries and then just hope to... My game plan is to just get a bunch of creatures in my graveyard and then overwhelm them with my Moldgraph Millipedes. With 3 of these, I can even afford to maybe make a sketchy splash. Like, I could splash the Welcoming Vampire. This even synergizes with the Welcoming Vampire. Oh, ho, ho, ho. All of my cards synergize. I don't think I want to play the Scab if I'm playing these Millipedes, because it's just anti-synergy. Every card in my deck, except for these 4/4s, is just great synergy with my guy. Alchemist Retrieval for just some interaction could be nice. Witch's Web. This card's pretty solid, but I'm pretty firm. I guess I'm not super firm into blue. I just have 3 thirsts. I could still technically be green-white, but I think I don't really want to take the web. Alchemist Retrieval is a card I'm fine playing because I do have 3 thirsts for card advantage, so I can afford to just play a bounce spell that's anti-tempo. And just having multiple instances, good flexibility. Now it's interesting. Do I want the Sellhoffen Tumor or another Mulch? I'm going to be milling myself a lot. I think that's worth it because I can really enable my graveyard synergies then. Cruel Witness is fine, but I'm just going to try to I'm just going to see how deep I can go on the graveyard stuff. Cruel Witness over Siphon Essence. Double blue could be hard. But more creatures is nice. And we wield the Stitched Assistant. We also wield the Resistance Squad, so let's think. I think with our graveyard stuff, maybe we can get good blue-green cards for pack 3 that care about the graveyard. And this gives us the combo with the Biolume Egg. Let's just take a 2-drop. I'm going to play the Welcoming Vampire, I think. Could even play this as just a creature to mill. Yes, it came back. We're really millipeding it up. So hopefully we can get a lot of good synergy. How many creatures do we have? 13. So we're going to want as many creatures as we can get. Other than our like mulches and thirsts, which also can pitch creatures to fill our graveyard. Maybe we play more than 40 cards because we do mill ourselves for so much. That could be an exciting thing to do. Maybe I try this card. Maybe I give it a shot. It's got some extra mill attached to it. The combat trick is not like a super unknown quantity. Okay, so we've locked in a Moldgraph Millipede from this pack because it's certainly going to wheel. All of the other ones have. So what do we want from this pack? We could take Mulch and really just go get all of our graveyard filling up strategy. Have 4 Mulches, 4 Moldgraph Millipedes. Could take Sawblade Slinger. I kind of just want to take Mulch and just see how far we can go into the graveyard. Inspired Idea is fine, but we're going to be getting card advantage from other sources like our Thirst, so we don't really need card advantage. This card's fine, but I just want to see how deep we can go with our Mulch plan. Sure, we'll take a Lunar Rejection. This card's also fine. Interaction's good, though. But I'd rather just have a creature. I have a few werewolves. So maybe I'd rather just have a creature that can work with my werewolves. Yeah, I'm going to try this guy out. I haven't got to play with it yet. I got to play with the other card before. Good pack. I like the Infestation Expert. Think it's better than the Hookhand Mariner. I'm liking the Weaver of Blossoms in this deck. So we can mill a bunch of cards here in this deck. We do manage to get a Sawblade Slinger. I like that. We've been seeing a lot of these. I feel like it's pretty good, but we'll have to see. I don't really want Syncopate as much because we just want to fill our graveyard with creatures for our Millipedes. Statue could be good for ramping into our 5-drops because we have quite a few 5-drops. And it helps us with our splash. Yeah, I changed my mind on that one. There's Mulch. There's also Screaming Swarm. I'm just going to see how we can do with as many Mulches as we can get our hands on. And then another Weaver, just maximizing the chances of playing a turn 4 Millipede for maximum value. We have a pretty good splash for the Welcoming Vampire, just based on our creatures. We could also play this Kindly Ancestor on the splash. We'll take this... Creature and non-creature. We're not going to be milling many lands, I guess, because... I think I'll just take this. I already have one Biolume egg, and so just having 2 exploit cards to go with it makes more sense than taking 2 eggs and having only 1 exploit card. Pick 8. We get another Weaver of Blossoms over Scattered Thoughts. And there he is. There's the Millipede. Also wields Scattered Thoughts and a bunch of blue cards in the Wolf, but these things are going to be big. I wish I had one of the Trample combat tricks. So I'm going to try to bypass turn 4 by playing a bunch of Mana Dorks there. One target creature and non-creature permanent. Don't really need this. I think I'm going to play more than 40 cards. My deck's power level is relatively flat. And I want to be able to just, like, turbo through. And I don't want to mill myself out. With 3 thirsts, I'll be able to pitch my extra lands, dig through my deck. Scab is just a non-bow with my Millipedes. This deck is cool. The fact that it's trying to bug me out and say I can't play 5 Mulch, I just need to be careful not to accidentally click those. I have some humans to go with this 2-drop. I'm going to try the fake Fear of Death. Retrieval works well with all my instants. Do I have any, like, obviously weak cards? Cruel Witness is a card I could consider cutting. I don't really need a double blue card, I don't think. How many creatures are in this build? 21. I like all my other creatures. I think I can cut the Cruel Witness, though. This is 13, 17 lands. So if I have... so this is 17 lands... 7, 13, 17. Wow, it recommends 4 planes. I'm going to run 2 planes. Make up for it with that. And then, since I have... Instead of normally I have 23 playables, and here I have 31. So if I want to maintain a similar ratio, I added 8 playables, so I probably have to add 5 lands. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play like the massive deck special and see how it does. 22 lands. 22 lands, 31 spells. 53 minus 22 is 31. So that's a roughly 3-to-2 ratio. Let's just pull out my calculator. 23 out of 40 is 57.5. 31 out of 53 is... Wow, I killed it with that math. I have a slightly higher spell count than normal, but since I have 5 mulches, I think that'll be fine. Wow, I killed it with that math. Wow, good job, Mental Nikolai. Well, this is going to be our deck. It's really cool. 53 card special. Sorry, Scabs. Sorry, Cruel Witnesses. Say hello to your new millipede overlords. I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my content, my channel, at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special shout out to those at the credits level. It is thanks to Patreon support that I'm able to make as many videos as I do, so if you found my videos to be of some value, maybe they've helped you win a couple of extra games on the arena ladder, or maybe you've crushed your FNM because of some of my advice, and you want to help me continue making the videos, then Patreon is the best way to do so, and as my way of saying thank you, you even gain access to some pretty cool Patreon exclusive rewards, like access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet, my tier list for Crimson Vow, which is an excellent bonus resource to help you crush your competition, especially early on in the format when a lot of people don't know how to evaluate the cards. But anyway, I do hope you are enjoying the video so far, regardless of whether or not you decide to become a patron. And without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1. We are playing kind of a brew. We'll keep this hand. We got some stuff going on. Just play this as a 3-3. Do some stuff. Maybe we're not supposed to play at like a random instance like this. I like keeping our deck unpredictable, though. And then we can flip this guy by just holding up Syncopate. Oh, they're also playing a Spicy Brew. It is nighttime. Oh, right. Duh. Jeez Louise. I was like, well, I would like to hold up my blue so I can cast this retrieval, but then just completely useless. And double spelling is especially bad because they have this thing. And I want to play these things on their backside, generally. Happy to trade my amigo. Gonna dig a little bit. Nice. I am double spelling, so it's gonna be daytime again. But getting down this guy is nice. No! Full value. So I've got my Hook Hand Mariner. Now I'll be able to mulch into Mold Graph. And I still have Retrieval to bounce like a really terrifying attacker if they play one. Okay. They're using all their removal spells on my small ball creatures. Oh no, I got exiled. My millipede, no! That's right. Say hello to my millipede friend. And I even have Alchemist Retrieval up to protect it. Did I have Alchemist Retrieval up to protect my other guys? Maybe. I have 23 cards left in my deck. I have fewer cards in my deck than they have in theirs. I need to get a new mouse. It's really bugging me. Oh, yes! That is a beating. Smack. Crunch. Yes! The millipede is strong with this one. Oh my goodness. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. That is sick. This deck is awesome. I'm really enjoying this one. Let's just see what we can do in our next round. We might not even need the white mana, but I feel like it's really pure upside to have like the odds of milling the Kindly Grandmother, whatever it's called. I just call it Kindly Grandmother. It's not called that. It's called like Kindly Ancestor. But like giving lifelink to a massive millipede seems like a GG proposition. And we have decent odds of just milling it instead of having like cast the front side. Or we can like discard it if we use one of our thirsts. On the play, I am going to keep this hand. We need one land to hit our thirst, and then we're kind of golden. And we have Syncopate to like buy us time. And mulliganing is just really bad and limited. They're like, oh my gosh, they're on the 46 card special. Oh, the ceremonial knife. This is where the time is near. I'm hoping that I draw a forest. Any land will do, though. Just need to cast this thirst. No! The opposite of a forest. It's mulch. Sad day. They're probably like, oh, this noob put together their deck incorrectly. Yes! The Weaver is here. The Weaver is here! The Weaver is here! We're weaving. Mulchin. Yes! Ho 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 ho! Yes! Let's go. We hit 3 lands off our mulch. Decline. Oh, one of them was a millipede, though. Don't worry, your millipede will strengthen your millipede brethren. I need to be careful not to accidentally click those because my mouse is going to just let them go. I'm just going to pass the turn to make my werewolf flip, and then I can cast Thirst for Discovery and Retrieval. Sure thing, amigo. card is not going to do good for me, I can tell. I'm just gonna mulch now. Just gonna keep getting these Moldcraft Millipedes bigger and bigger. They can get attacking with the Binding Geist if they want. I'm okay with that. I'll just jump it or something. Really? That's a surprise. I am not in the need for mana, and more creatures means bigger millipedes. Sure. No! My thirst! There's some creatures. It's an 11/11. And next turn I can play one and hold a Retrieval to protect it. Once again, less cards in my deck than my opponent. This deck would be unplayable without more than 40 cards. I would just mill myself out every single time if I was playing 5 mulches. Oh, sure. That doesn't do anything. I'm gonna do that now just to play around Graveyard Hate. This one's also too big for Bleed Dry to kill. No! I forgot that they had that in play as an onboard trick. This guy's annoying. Getting rid of my 3rd and 4th Thirst for Discoveries is kind of bad, I must admit. I do still have one more Millipede, though. Sure. That's a ballsy attack. Like... do they think I have nothing? Like, I have 5 cards in my hand. The Millipedes are coming! You shall not pass, the Millipede army. Opponent's probably like, man, this total noob is playing 53 cards in his deck, and he doesn't have a single rare that he's playing. Like, he hasn't played a single. I have that one rare, which is kind of insane in my deck because it still triggers off of the Millipedes. But, like, mostly, like, commons and uncommons, which just feels amazing. Just mulching it up. Let's go. This is the graveyard deck of the dreams are made of. Oh, it looks like we can get the Biolume egg going, maybe. We do have a couple of exploiters in the deck. We're gonna get some exploitation going.
Exciting stuff for the old Eggaroony. No! Mulch me! No mulch. Okay, I see how it is, opponent. I see how it is. But if they do make it nighttime, then this thing will be scary. And I'll get to play my egg. Egg shall defend me. Defend me, egg! No, don't play anything too scary, please! I just need to live. My millipedes, please! My deck is slow, I will say. Oh, man. Okay, that's a good draw. That gives me a nice little curve out to stabilize. I can't cast the Welcoming Vampire, so I'm going to put that on the bottom. Weaver doesn't have a point in my curve that I can play it, so I'm just going to do this. Neither of them really does anything unique for me. I'm just going to go this thing into the Infestation Expert, and so I'd rather just have 2 fresh draws. I don't think either of those cards help my game plan at all. I'll block the Hungry Ridge Wolf, by the way. If I need to trade this for a combat trick, I need to trade it for a combat trick. Oh! That is terrifying. But I can still defend some damage. Whew. This thing's kind of scary, not gonna lie. They should both have the Spore back, maybe. I have a nice little jump blocker set up, or a nice big double block if I really want to go for it. I think I'm just going to flip this thing. And then I can start attacking into doing scary things. Don't want to take any extra damage. If they do have removal, I get a little bit blown out, but I still don't want to take 5 trample damage, so. And if they do kill both my creatures, my millipede will be bigger. This card is really overperforming what I thought it would do. It's pretty terrifying. I just can't afford to give them any wolves. Oh. Interesting. Kind of backfired on me. So I can make a 4/5. I can't afford to give him wolves. Oh, are you kidding me? I messed this up in a terrible way then. Oh no. I'm just super dead. Getting crushed by Howling Moon. Also, I forgot that they had a werewolf in play. Dang it. Howling Moon was too good. That card was insane that game. I just couldn't play, essentially. Because I could have been double spelling and doing stuff. I think passing that turn was really bad. The turn that I wanted to flip my guy. Because I forgot that their guy would also flip. Because I thought I would have good blocks. I just forgot how the Fearful Villager worked. So that was just a horrendous misplay. Cost me the game. If I had just played a Millipede as like a 5/5, I can stabilize that game. So I botched it. But it's okay. The cards are new. I just forgot Fearful Villager would flip. And if I had just had an extra big creature in play. It wasn't guaranteed to be a 5/5, I don't think. No, it was because I milled 2 creatures with it and the expert died, so it was only guaranteed to be like a 4/4, which wouldn't have done as much as I wanted it to do. But the fact that I also forgot that the Howling Moon wouldn't let me double spell on their turn. Overall, just tough. I just keep drawing only islands with my mulch openers. I'm going to keep this, though. I just need 1 land, which is a fine spot to be for an opening hand. And if I do draw a forest on the second turn, I'm in great shape. I have 12 of them. Hit too many forests. Insanity. Let's get the Foreboding Statue rolling. No, don't do it. Wow. Poor color. That's a problem. Oh, that's why they're playing it. Oh, I'm so dead. I don't have any kill spells for this. Oh my gosh. Oh, why do they have to have that rare? Just gonna make a massive sorcery up here. Now they're just gonna start making 4/4s every turn. Yeah. Oh, I guess not. Of course they have a swamp in their deck too, because they literally just maximized this rare. Gosh darn it. they really just draw a 4-drop that I could have syncopated if I'd had that up. Oh my gosh. What went wrong this game? They braided me, they wolf striked me. Oh, right, they ramped out their guy, and then I ramped out my guy, and they just killed mine. Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise. 5 mana, 9/9, not even close to good enough. They just get to make a 6/6 every turn. That's just silly. Just such a feels bad. They're just playing like 4-color random stuff, and they just, oh man. Some percentage of games they'll just have mana issues and lose, but I didn't happen to face them during those ones. Wow, 2 tough losses in a row. I just find myself with no removal like 90% of the time. I guess 90% is a strong one, considering that I've not done that many drafts of this format. I just find it hard to get the removal spells. Like, they just aren't there. The good ones, at least. So, it's like, opponents are doing cool stuff. Okay, we can keep this. It's a slow hand. Our deck is kind of slow, though. Starting with the mold graphs is a little bit tough. I would like a mulch. Maybe I just need to play a setup Millipede. Oh my gosh, what is happening? If they kill this, it's okay. They probably have a kill spell. Yes, they do. And so the mold... Oh my gosh. What am I supposed to do? Let's hope they don't know how this card works and they make me sacrifice this. That would be really funny. Please exploit it. Oh my gosh. What? 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 Oh my gosh! What the heck? How could I ever beat that? What the? They just played like premium mythic into like premium uncommon into premium mythic into like janky common into best mythic in the set, or one of them. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Huh. That was a beatdown, massacre. But it was going so well for a time. Interesting. Could I have won the game against the werewolves deck? I don't think so. I was just getting wrecked by +2/+2 every turn onto their every creature they had. For no mana. It's like an equipment that they don't have to pay for. Huh. Well, I think the deck was cool. I mean, we made some massive millipedes. We made a 14-14 and an 11-11 in the same game. The deck was pretty solid. Maybe there's just no time to cast Thirst for Discovery. I mean, I just didn't have any ways to deal with any creatures once they hit the battlefield. Like, this isn't a real answer. Would have done fine against the Donathi or whatever. But just hard to find removal in this format. I'm going to have to bump it up in my prioritization, I guess. But, yeah, kind of a crazy draft. If you were watching this on YouTube and you did make it all the way to the end, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, feedback, encouragement, and all of that good stuff. And if you did make it all the way to the end, leave hashtag massive millipede to let me know you made it all the way to the end, because 1414 is probably one of the bigger millipedes you're going to see in this format. You can also remember to support my content on Patreon if you are enjoying it, if it's providing me some value. Maybe you're getting some extra wins that you don't think you would have. Patreon's a great way to give back to the channel and help me continue making these videos so that more people can enjoy them and find them helpful. You can also find the NicolaiBolas Discord server, my articles, and the Twitch stream links and all sorts of stuff in the description down below. And my merchandise if you are wanting to represent NicolaiBolas swag in the world, so that sort of thing. Anyway, interesting deck for sure. It's rarely correct to go over 40, but I thought this deck was a pretty cool example of when it can be good. And it was a pretty fun time, I'll say. And overall, had a lot of fun with this one. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And I will talk to you next time.